Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Mr. Anil, anyone to join it?
Yes, sir. Vinay Bharadwaj and Anirudh Kulkarni join up, sir.
Oh, okay. Now, I think NB Patil and Srinivasan.
Sir.
Yeah, they have joined.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let us just at least formally chat for a few minutes till other two join. I hope kindly excuse us, Mr. Srinivasan and Patil ji. Please, can you just let us know where are you located and what are the things that are happening, please?
Okay, sir. So my name is NB Patil, and I'm located in Boston area. That's for 21 years, working for Bose Corporation. I'm mostly involved in research and innovation space. Currently manage a larger group of people who's focused on developing new product concepts across Bose. I hope everybody knows Bose. We make headphones, speakers, and automotive. We've been one of the top audio brands in the world.
Yeah, very nice to hear. When did you get shifted there?
In 2000, sir.
Okay,
yes,
almost 21 years.
21 years, sir. Yes.
Okay. Very good. Very nice to hear. How about the family and all? Everybody's fine?
Everybody's fine, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
They're all doing good. Yeah. Thanks.
Very nice talking to you. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Mr. Srinivasan ji.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi. Please.
Fine. Yeah. So I'm Srinivas. I'm from Bangalore.
Okay.
I represent Aspartica Biotech Private Limited. So I graduated from Sir M. Vishweswara Institute of Technology. I did my MTech in 2013. I am a recipient of Biotechnology Ignition Grant in 2013. So following that, I established this company. So recently we acquired one more company called Some's Kitchen Private Limited. It was a UK-based company which was under fire sale due to lockdown. So now we are making some clinical nutrition, immunity booster, which are relevant to COVID. So we are
of NB Patil ji and Anirudh and others. Other Naik sir, I think shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, slides visible, sir?
I think it's visible.
Committee meeting for National Innovation Startup Policy Formation and Implementation at BEC. And I welcome you all to this meeting. So this is the agenda for the meeting. So subject 1, to brief about Institutions Innovation Council and National Innovation and Startup Policy.
Anil, just will interrupt. Let our team members and now Mr. Anirudh also has joined formally introduce themselves.
Next slide, sir.
Okay.
To brief on suggested implementation steps of NISP at BEC, to discuss on National Innovation and Startup Policy for teachers and students. Then the subject 4 will be any other matter with the permission of the chair. So we will be moving on with these 4 subjects as part of this agenda. So this is the list of expert committee members. Now I request, I think this slide is visible. I request all the members to briefly introduce themselves. Please, sir.
Yeah, let me start. And myself, Dr. S.S. Injagneri, currently the principal of Basveshwar Engineering College, Bagalkot. Born and brought up in Bagalkot itself. I had my primary education from 1st to 4th standard at Kannada Boys School number 4 in Bagalkot. Then later on, I had an opportunity to join the Sainik School Vijapur when I was in 5th standard. That was in the year 1973. So 1973, I did my graduation. Then I finished my degree in June 1985, and on August 21st, 1985, I joined my alma mater, that is Basaveshwara Engineering College, Bagalkot, as a faculty member. So the journey has started way back on 21st of August 1985, and till today I am associated with this great institution, that is Basaveshwara Engineering College, Bagalkot. Almost 15 plus 21, that is 36 years of my career of teaching has been with entirely with Basaveshwara Engineering College, Bagalkot. I had an opportunity to do my master's and later on PhD from one of the esteemed organizations.
Myself, I am Dr. R.V. Khazir Naikar. I completed my education till intermediate in Dharwad only, and subsequently joined for BE in civil engineering at BEC Engineering College, Hubli. I graduated in the year 1985. Then in 1987, I joined Basaveshwara Engineering College. Then after that, I completed my master's from IIT Roorkee in 1991. Then again, I joined back BC and then did my PhD in structural engineering from IIT Delhi. For the last 34 years, I am associated with Basaveshwara Engineering College, and presently I am working as a professor in civil engineering department and as well as the Dean Student Welfare. Regarding my family, I have 3 kids. Son, he is working in Canada, and my elder daughter is doing PhD at IIT Dharwad, and my second daughter is a dentist. I have guided around 40 MTech theses and completed 3 research projects and guided 5 PhDs and have around 91 publications. So I'm happy with BEC Bagalkot. That's all regarding me. Thank you.
And Dr. V.S. Puranik is not feeling well, and he will be not joining the meeting as for today. So I request Bharti Madam to continue with the introduction.
Yeah, we wish him a speedy recovery. Please convey our wishes to him, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Madam, you are not audible, Bharti ma'am. You just...
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Okay, right.
Sir, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Bharati S. Meti, heading the Department of Biotechnology in Basaveshwara Engineering College, Bagalkot. My studies, I have completed my PG and PhD from Gulbarga University, Gulbarga. And I joined this Basaveshwara Engineering College in 2003, started the Department of Biotechnology, and I'm very happy to say that we have established a very good labs in biofuels and food processing. My thrust area is also the same research area is like biofuels. I'm working on biofuels and food processing. So that's about me, sir. Thank you.
Srilata Madam.
Okay. Good morning and also good afternoon for the American fellows. So I'm Dr. Srilata Rao, professor and head of MBA department in Basaveshwara Engineering College. In Basaveshwara Engineering College in 2009, MBA department has been added, and we are associated with that. I'm very happy to associated with starting time. And MBA is doing well. Our MBA is because it has been associated in BE, we are doing very well. And about my education, I have completed MA in Economics, MPhil, MBA, and doctorate degree from Jain University, and all others from Karnataka University. And I'm heading from my second time this one. And about my family, we are originally from Udupi, but residing at from 30 years we are at Bagalkot, and my children are one is gynecologist and other 2 are working for Microsoft. One is in Seattle and one is in Hyderabad. I'm very happy to be associated as a committee member for this, and I contribute myself very well. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. and good afternoon for American friends. So presently I am working as the head of the department for artificial intelligence and machine learning department. So I completed my BE from Basaveshwara Engineering College in 1992 and completed my MTech from the same Basaveshwara Engineering College in 2006, and I completed my PhD in 2018, and my area of research is vehicular ad hoc networks. And from 1997 and to 2006, I was working and I had also had an opportunity to work for TCS 6 months. Then I shifted my career to this teaching profession, and I'm also the convener for this Institution Innovation Council of BEC, about which we will be talking a lot in the next coming slides. So, and I'm happy to see such dignified members in this expert committee, and I hope everything will be very fruitful. Thank you. Anirudh.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, this is Aniruddha Kulkarni. I graduated from BEC 1999 to 2003 in computer science, and I have a special connection with Dr. Engineering sir that I would like to share. So my brother actually also ended up going to Sainik school. That was mainly because of Engineering sir and some of the other faculty members who started Sainik school coaching in Bagalkot around the same time, and that sort of changed my brother's life. Like, he went to Sainik school, and now, anyway, like, so yeah, that is my other special connection with Dr. Engineering sir. So I was not fortunate enough to actually learn from him, but that was my connection. And anyhow, after my computer science degree, I came to the United States, did a master's here in Texas Tech, and after that I've been working for Microsoft. And some of the things I've been doing around startups are, for the last like 5 years, I have been working on inventing new stuff at Microsoft, and I've been fortunate enough to work on some of the proposals from Bill Gates, where we have now jointly filed for like 4 or 5 patents with Bill Gates and some of the other Microsoft leadership team, and we have presented to Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft board, and so on.
Yeah, I think Mr. N.B. Patil, you have to repeat this.
So I will add a little more details based on what I've been hearing from
Angala sir, he is having many more accomplishments. He can talk on that.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm N.B. Patil. I'm actually originally from Dharwad, but I graduated from Bagalkot in 1997 in electronics and communication. After that, I worked in Robert Bosch in Bangalore for 2.5 years and shifted to US in 2000. And since then, I've been working in Bose. Within Bose, I've had an opportunity to, Bose is a large corporation. We have multiple areas we can work on. I worked for more than 25 patents in my name. And also, as I mentioned earlier, I'm managing a large group of people where we take any idea within the company, an idea on a napkin. If anybody in the company, anywhere, including the CEO, has an idea on a piece of paper.
In getting a patent, as you made a remark, I really appreciate. I think it has become a part of your life to get a patent, and that's why you don't feel it special. But for the people, those who have not got it, they always consider that it's one of the important things that one should get a patent. The other thing, you made a remark that you have been helping institutions. So can you just throw some light in what fashion, in what capacity is the support being extended?
So similar to some of the
documents.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
So as the document, I'm just going through the document that Anil sir shared with me in the morning. As they suggested, actually, you need some funding from the institution. So Bose actually funds MIT Media Lab, NYU Research Labs, and other institutions in the area. When we fund it, we also actually on the hook to actually mentor the students as a part of the program. There's a Media Lab program where you actually pay $250,000 every year. As a part of that, we have access to the students, and they have access to some of the key people from Bose to go and help them. So we used to go, right now we kind of discontinued this year specifically, but we used to go there every month and understand what the students are working on. And basically, it's not about what they're working on helping them. It's about trying to connect what they're working on with what's the need is in the industry. That's a key part. And then we would actually sponsor them and then actually bring them onto actual projects that's actually happening at those. At the end of the day, they will be actually working on a real world project, which very difficult to get nowadays. So.
Yeah, very nice to know that. I was not aware of that, but it's a very wonderful gesture on the part of the company. And I think many more also doing, but to get at least people associated with who have contacts with the academic institution, it's a wonderful thing that's happening. And that's also the need of Dawa. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think Vinay also has joined.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Vinay ji.
Sir, can you hear me?
Good morning.
Morning.
Just thinking that I got late, and then we'll introduce ourselves. I think we request Mr. Srinivas BV to just kindly introduce yourself once again and throw some more light.
Thank you, sir. Myself, I'm Srinivas. So I did my BE in biotechnology from Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology, Devnalli. So I was the first batch of BE biotechnology students from Visvesvaraya Technological University. So that's when Bagalkot also started biotechnology. After graduation in 2006, I joined a private. Have an incubation center at Sir MVIT, which has 5 companies which are doing successfully very well. One of the good thing that I observed here was we entered into an agreement with the MVIT institution. So they gave us about 5,000 square feet of space where we started getting students from Sir MVIT Biotech Department to work as interns in all our projects. Since after I got the Biotechnology Ignition Grant Award, 5 more students got such awards from Sir MVIT, our juniors. So based on this, we established about 5 companies. And regularly we take interns from them, and most of the employees working with me are students who came from the same department, and we recruit them directly. And we are also associated with Visvesvaraya Engineering College from past 5 years. Every year we get biotech students. This year we could not get them due to lockdown and other issues. So I'm fortunate that during the 5 years we were able to do a lot of work with a similar area of thrust. So my thrust area is clean technology, biofuels, and nutraceuticals, which very well matches with Dr. Bharati madam. So we work a lot with their students in this field. And our major success program in our company is that we have developed a technology to extract omega-3 fatty acids from waste silkworm pupa. And we have established a production unit to extract omega-3 fatty acids from discarded pupa of Chikballapur, Ramanagara, and other places. So indirectly, we employ about 300 farmers for additional revenue. And now we are focused on nutraceutical products. So where we have immunity boosters, clinical nutrition, and COVID-specific diets we have been developing through a new company called Some's Kitchen Private Limited. So, and we are happy to share that we received several awards for our work, like National Entrepreneurship Award from Government of India, Biotechnology Process Development Award by Dr. Harshavardhan. We were selected as top 10 scale-up companies in India by FICCI and CNBC. We received a global award by UNIDO for clean technology from UNO. We also received Bayrak Innovators Award. Our work has been recognized widely. Now we are into the commercial stage, still scaling up to do much better. This is about me, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Vinay, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, sir. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm a 2004 graduate from BEC Bagalkot. And then I was working for a couple of years at DRDO and another company called Altair Engineering in India. And then I moved to Portland State for my and I started doing my PhD, but did not continue and dropped out halfway. It was scary to be in academics. So and then I was with Intel for a few years, and that continued with various startups. In the recent years, or rather, presently, I'm the senior director of engineering at a company called Eargo. We make hearing aids. We make hearing aids and smart hearing aids, and then it's mostly kind of devised for AI and ML, and that helps for hearing aid and things like those. And also, I have a angel investment organization called Scion Labs, and the Scion Labs, we are a couple of friends who put together, and then we are angel investors into startups. We either participate in early stage or Series A sort of companies, very early stage, and another thing that we are heading up next is into incubator for students. That's where engineering sir and I have had some conversations. Very early stage into venture capital and things like those. So it's mostly that, but continuing to be into engineering, and that I think that will continue. That's a quick introduction to who I am. Thanks.
Thank you, Vinay. Prashant.
Yes, sir. Namaste to everyone. I am Prashant Madhavnar. Currently, I am working as assistant professor in computer science and engineering department since 2010. I did my graduation from Basveshwara Engineering College, graduated in 2008, and completed my post-graduation from BEC-IIC Hubli in 2010. So I started my career with Basveshwara Engineering College from 2010. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Now, quickly, we will move with the subjects in the agenda. Until and unless Sri NB Patil will object, I think already it's past 11 there. Patil, ready, Tala?
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's okay. Yes.
Subject 1, to brief about Institutions Innovation Council, abbreviated as IIC, and National Innovation Startup Policy, NISP, which is the main agenda today. IIC, Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, now it is called as Institutions on Innovation Achievements Framework, establish function ecosystem for scouting ideas and pre-incubation of ideas, develop better cognitive ability amongst technology students. So these are the major focus areas of IIC. Then functions of Institutions Innovation Council are as below. 2018 till now, the achievements of IIC BEC are as follows. We were rated 4-star on a 5-star scale during 18-19, and IIC BEC was recognized as one of the top 25 best performing institution innovation council at all India level for the academic year 2018-19. And during 1920, we had a slight improvement over our performance. From 4, we were able to get 4.5 star rating on a 5-star scale. And these are some of the achievements of IIC. And one team of National Innovation Startup Policy. The National Student and Faculty Startup Policy 2019, about which we will be discussing a lot, is a guiding framework to envision an educational system oriented towards startups and entrepreneurship opportunities for students and faculties. The guidelines of NISP provide ways. Honorable Minister of Education, Sri Ramesh Pokhriyal, on 11th September 2019 at AICTE, New Delhi. And coincidentally, our principal, Dr. S.S. Engineering, and myself had an opportunity to attend this meeting where we received the award for the one of the best performing IIC at the all India level. This policy intends to guide HEIs for promoting students-driven innovations and startups and to engage the students and faculty, IIC and NISP. And now, as per the directions of MHRD, NISP is being implemented under IIC. Sir, anything to be discussed or shall?
Yeah.
Please go, sir. Yep.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes. Subject 2, to brief on suggested implementation steps, NISP at HEI. So these are some of the steps suggested by NISP during the course of implementation of NISP at HEIs. The foremost and the first step to move forward is to complete the task of establishing an odd number of a committee of experts, mission, impact, long-term objectives, outcome, short-term objectives, activity, and input by using problem tree and policy logical tools. I'll just distract a few minutes here. And for this setup of outcome term and problem tree and etc., they had conducted 2 or 3 training sessions. And they had asked us to nominate one person as a NISP coordinator. And Prashant, we from our Basveshwar Engineering College, Prashant Madhavnavar was nominated as the NISP coordinator from Basveshwar Engineering College, Bagalkot, and he has attended all these training sessions, and there they have mentioned of how this problem tree and what the outcome activity should look like and like that, and finally set the benchmark. Either
will be there for the starting of the putting the things in place. So they are just a formal thing for the institutions because they are not into that.
Yes, sir.
So I think you don't have to worry about it. But the way that it need to be implemented at this particular stage and it should be taken forward need to be discussed.
Okay.
And you also just give some brief information about the incubatees at the BEC so that they will also have some kind of awareness or the idea as to how things can work.
Sir. I'll complete this.
Yeah.
And these are some of the steps suggested to maintain the website. So a dedicated web portal is to be created, and institution. This is regarding the maintenance of website, and we will be doing this. As sir was mentioning, right now we are having on our campus 3 startups working. One girl and 2 IT startups are working, and under the government of Karnataka, we had an opportunity to set up an incubation center under the government Department of IT, BT, and Science and Technology. We had set up an incubation center, and the government was running a scheme wherein every year they were to select top 10 ideas from the institute, and they were to fund up to 3 lakhs for each team, so that they are able to convert their idea into a working prototype or a product. So these are the startup activities and information regarding the incubation center on our campus. And right now, our principal has framed some policies for allocation of space for new startups. And I think one entire new building will be there where sufficient space will be there for allocation of new startups. Now, subject 3, to discuss on
his biodiesel producing unit in Bagalkot itself, but a lot of research he's doing here in our campus, BEC STEP campus. And one more, Ajay Katti and Manoj they are also started their own Dalge company at our premises, and they are big grantees. They got 50 lakh rupees from BIRAC, Biotechnology Ignition Grant from BIRAC DBT. That is one innovation is happening in our campus. Especially they are into developing a technology for this algal growth and vertical growth of the algae, microalgae. So very good innovations they are doing. And one more student, she not yet registered, but she is applying for the funding to have it. Some innovations she is doing in nutraceuticals. and definitely she want to be entrepreneur, and one more entrepreneur will be developed from BEC. Sir, in BEC step is actually established through DST in 1999 to 2000. Since then, BEC step we have a thrust areas like food processing, textile, and low cost building technology. And we have established food technology like food processing units, plus with the help of KBITS, Karnataka government, we also established 2 more labs. One is a food testing lab, another one is...
In fact, I'm sorry I did not mention the BEC step in that list of activities which we are conducting. So right now we are having a limited number of startups on our campus, and activities are being conducted on a regular basis with respect to startups and entrepreneurships. And we are having BEC step. And within a span of 2-3 months, I think a lot of space will be available for the allocation of space for new startups. And any suggestions on this, or how to move forward, or what is to be done, or what type of startups we should allocate the space, and etc.?
Sir, one more thing is BEC step is also recognized by MSME like a business incubation center, as a business incubation center. This is one more additional information. Thank you, sir.
Yes, madam.
So Anil sir, actually, do you have some data actually how these 3 startups came to surface out of, like, I'm still learning, by the way, so please bear with me. So I'm trying to understand the program a little bit and how it works. So if it's working for the last 2 years, and if 3 successful startup came out of that, and how many we started, and why, what was the thing actually that made these to come out? Is it the people? Is it the idea? Is it the environment? Is the support? And I think we had to start digging. I think as every year, every startup we have, if you go back and retro and see what was the reason why these became successful versus the others, I think we can start to look at those and then start to implement those in those directions. Because one of the things that we've noticed is just because there is an idea, there is a reference somewhere at the central level, does not apply to the local level, because it has to be tailored to what is actually works in Bagalkot and what resources are available at the Bagalkot level, right? And I think the best way to know that actually where the gaps are is what is working, and then look at what's working, and then understand how it's working, and then actually try to make more of that. That's why you actually...
True, sir. But to be honest, these are the startups or external startups. These are not the startups which our students have converted and they have set up the startups. What is happening here is students will come up with a prototype, and either they will get placed, or they will lose interest, or the next batch will complete. So there's some hindrance for the students to establish the startups.
So actually, to his NB Patil's question, if the companies were already started elsewhere, or was it really helped by BEC to start up, and how did we incubate that within? Right?
Yeah, no.
Or was it like a random startup which we said we'll give you space?
Yeah, it's a random startup where we have given the space. And through that startups, the benefits we are getting are some of the students have been getting employment there, and they are providing the
so these startups were originated elsewhere, and somehow now they are sort of a BEC incubation umbrella. But what is it that we are trying to get out of this program, right? Is the goal that students pitch certain ideas as part of STEP or part of other forums inside the BEC innovation umbrella, and then they graduate to start their own startups right after graduating? Is that what we are trying to achieve here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Now, through the implementation of this policy, that entire ecosystem is to be built up on our campus, and our students should be able to launch their own startups based on their ideas.
Got it.
Engineers, sir?
are being brought onto the track and given an awareness, and by the time they graduate, they should be in a position with the help of the internal faculty as well as the external resource persons to do this. And to get this kind of success, I think it takes some amount of time, and that planning should start today, as government is also promoting, and the national education policy in future will also aim at this, and a lot of emphasis will be given for these activities. So I think in that regard, you need to have an action plan, in my opinion, as to how this particular thing need to be taken forward, and then sincere effort for 2 or 3 years down the line. And if you have that short term and long term goals as to how this can be.
Let's say even if some student wants to start something or wants to build a product or anything, irrespective of what year they are in, will BEC fund them early on, or what is the support that that BEC plans to provide? Is that what's the incubation center? Let's call BEC the incubation center, right? Where students are the individual startups that they represent. Now, the role of BEC, of course, is to provide the awareness and resources to help. One of the primary resources is potentially money as well. Will BEC also invest into these startups? Maybe go through a approval process, and then will BEC invest to help? It could be 5,000 rupees, or it could be $5,000, whatever it takes.
Yeah, Mr. Vinay, at this particular juncture of time, finance has been a little more critical because with the admissions slightly falling down, and then the intake that we have it. That is the first and foremost thing what we need to understand. If it is to a certain extent, I would rather say to the order of, you said, around $5,000. I think that will work out to be almost around 4 lakhs, if I'm not right. If I'm right. So to an order of that, I think for 1 or 2 it can be done. But really, money is a hard stuff now, wherein we focus was not much on these activities, and just strengthening the academic activities since I took charge. And even for the promotion of these activities, either by the government or within our own self, was not to the extent that was required. And even the situation now demands that. So now we have started orienting ourselves, and we'll definitely have a framework for that.
Right. And then just to add to that, I think Devan Kavi sir had mentioned earlier in some earlier conversations that there are like 3 programs where students can potentially get funding from government or other investors, or so there are various ways to even get funding, not from college but from other existing forums, central government, state government, investors, and so on. So I guess like starting at, so like typically like in the corporate world we talk of a funnel, right? So like there are 100 ideas, and then out of that like 10 ideas graduate to the next level, and then out of that 2 graduate to the next level, right? So like what is the like as we think about how to make this a reality, right? Like what is the funnel? Where does the funnel start in terms of, maybe is it like we start targeting 2nd or 3rd year students? Maybe they'll come up with a pitch. Maybe we tie it to their existing project, right? Like, so 3rd year project or whatever. And then from there, right, like we, some of us can support and guide and mentor the students, and then gradually they move through the process, right? So we could think something along those lines.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Anidru, I think that's what I was trying to look at. The concept should start right from the 2nd year level itself, and the BEC as an incubator, and within the BEC itself, you must promote some of the clubs, like a hobby club, and then guide them right from that particular place. By then they come to the final year, it should have taken some shape. Then things will work fine. Otherwise, it is just a mere requirement to satisfy either the government's policy or the requirement of the academics by the some shape. all these things will never happen in a year or two. That's what my personal opinion is. And definitely at BEC, till I am there, as much as possible, we'll try channelizing that. And then also, irrespective of the person, it's not question of saying that we are there, irrespective of the person who stays there, the thing should carry forward. It's an unfortunate thing that even in the government,
been rightly pointed out by all the panelists. So I have been closely following with Basveshwara Engineering College. So I know how difficult it is and how a lot of efforts are being taken. So for instance, MSME fund was sanctioned again when the government changed. There is a lot of delay and all those things. Therefore, it is important to have 4 or 5 different funding agencies, including the corporate. Right now, as if this Basveshwara Engineering College Incubation Center is registered as a separate entity, as Vinay mentioned, a separate entity under Section 8 company. There are a lot of CSR funds available. So now government has made it that, and what we do at our incubation center is we handpick 5 to 6 students from the second year onwards. We make them to write KCST projects, VGST projects from the second year itself. So, and making them associated with a final year student so that they start learning how to write, how to present. By the time they complete, I have a lot of success stories like that. About 7 students of BE Biotechnology, they got MSME funding by the final year, by they reach their final year. Form a Section 8 incubation center. We will try to divert some corporate funds into the incubation center. That's for smooth moving, not directly depending on the government funding. So that can be an additional revenue. Whenever it comes, it's good for the institution.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
So one of the things that is important is, as we talk about either the incubation center or either ways, right? Revenue cannot be in the initial conversations, at least. I'm not saying
Definitely.
we shouldn't think about revenue. I'm thinking the intention of an academic institute who is trying to set up and inculcate on entrepreneurship in students shouldn't be thinking about revenue. That's an entirely different business model to be in, and totally possible.
I think Mr. Vinay, the NISP objective is not that.
Yeah.
Am I right, Anil? The objective of NISP is not that.
Yes, sir. But in the last point, he will mention about the impact assessment. NISP, 10th point, impact assessment. How we are going to assess the impact of this implementation of this NISP. There he is having some mention of how much revenue or how much income or how much startup will be earning, like that.
In terms of revenue, eventually.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's like saying we taught.
When I was talking about is if the primary motive is to make money out of this student startup, then you need to come up with a Stanford versus MIT. If I want to be an entrepreneur in the engineering, I would choose Stanford because there are programs set up that once you learn there, you could start up entrepreneurship, right? Otherwise, if I want to be really good in technology, I choose MIT and other Harvard stuff. So what is the motivation at the ultimate motivation at the BEC level, right? That's important, right? You want the student to pick BEC because if I go there, I have a potential to start my own company when I graduate, or it's just a checkbox. Like, okay, we do this too, right? We need to be absolutely clear from the beginning what's the motivation, and then we can take the steps, as Vinay and others mentioned, and what are the right structure that should actually enable that. And then we can actually measure it and see how we are doing over the course of years. So we cannot rely on only the government funding or government support, right? So government support may be the start, like a trigger. Now I think we should be self-reliant as an organization, right? Whether it is, as Vinay mentioned, BEC funding some of his work, or maybe some corporate partnerships, or maybe previous alumni investing in the future of the BEC. We have to think about all those options, right? That way, even if some government program changes, it will be less impactful. So
Yeah, I would also just give you as a sort of information to the panelists or the people here that at BEC we have a structure where there is a component or there is a part called management. All of you are aware that is Basveshwara Veerashaiva Vidya or like a Sangha, which is going to be run by a set of trustees. Now we have Mr. Veerana Charantimat, Dr. Veerana Charantimat, who has been very enthusiastic in order to support. But whoever is at BVVS as the chairman, but the ultimate objective of the management will be to see that they will always look at the educational institution or anything that is to be started. What's the income or the revenue that's going to be generated at the end of the day? Whether it is spoken of or whether it is not spoken of. But ultimately, the end result will be that, because whenever now we are running the academic institution also, the total income and expenditure, what is there for an academic institution, they will also be looking at that the income is more than compared to the expenditure. That's normally how the people will look in a very generic sense. But these are some of the things now where earlier educational institutions were not part of these things. And now with the multi-dimensional roles that the educational institutions have to play around, now a key part depends upon the principal, who is a bridge between the two things, the management and the other stakeholders here at BEC.
Start to measure the investment. It's a shorter time window. You will see that you're not getting the results that you need, and that you tend to kind of suppress stuff. But these things take its own time, because students are changing every year, environment is changing, the ideas are changing, the market is changing. So these investments takes time. So I hope we give this time enough time to kind of settle down and let the system decide itself how they can navigate itself, and then see whether the investment that we made 5-10 years ago actually started to surface or making.
Panel members are identified, and the specific tasks can be assigned to them, and we may take advantage of our expertise or our contacts, is what I feel.
Okay.
As when required.
Yeah, rightly said. We'll do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The other internal members, Mr. Dr. Kadir Naikar, Bharti ma'am. Hello. Srilatara ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have anything to say?
Nothing, sir.
Okay. Bharti ma'am.
Sir, nothing, sir. Sir, I hope we have to make a very good document, like how the BEC-IIC will work. I hope this is the agenda for today's this one also. Anil sir was expecting that. So we can use expertise here. A very good expertise are in the committee. And I hope we can come out with a very good
framework. And then again, we'll have a follow-up meeting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Will that be fine with you? Will that be fine with you?
Yes, sir. No problem.
Yeah, sir. Yeah. So let us do that, I think.
Sir. Sir.
Okay. Anil sir, is it possible to send this presentation to us?
Yes, sir. I'll be sending, sir. I'll be sending both the actual policy documentation. I will send, and I will also attach this PPT also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
This is an extract of the policy document of the central government. So here I'll ask him to send that document, and as well as the PPT, the PowerPoint presentation, the extract of that, so that you will get a quick brief insight of the things instead of going through the whole document. That can be as a sort of reference for you. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Aste conclude ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಈಗ.
Sir.
Anil ji, then we'll have a follow-up, and then is it possible to decide the next the date for meeting, tentative? Then you please also explore that, and then conclude it.
Sir.
If there are some suggestions, you please take a follow-up date and a time, so that again you don't have to strive contacting and then doing all that.
Yes,
it all happens at one go, and we'll already knowing that when is the next meeting that's going to happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anirudh and Patil sir and Srinivas, they should suggest the next meeting, whether it should be on next Sunday or the next Sunday, like that. already I have shared the policy document. Once again, I'll share with all the members, internal and external, and we can go with the things. So for today, I thank our beloved principal for sparing his valuable time on Sunday early in the morning.
Anilji,
Sir.
no need of internal members. You just thank the external.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I thank Mr. Anirudh and Vinay Bharadwaj and NB Patil for their kind cooperation throughout this week and for sparing their time. And I also thank Mr. Srinivas BV. Once again, he was in touch with me for the entire week, and he has spared his time on early in the Sunday. So I thank all the internal members also, and with the summarize these things that we'll be meeting on next Sunday at 7:30. I think I take sir IST. Yes, sir. I'll message the thing also, and I take your permission to conclude today's meeting.
Yeah, thank you, one and all. We'll meet on the next Sunday. It's nice.
Thank you.
Talking to you.
Thank you.